Facebook has been toying with artificial intelligence, but its robots may have gotten out of
In
hand.
2017, two AI chatbots bypassed human programming.
They developed a strange English shorthand.
No one knew what they were talking about, but the creators scrambled and the bots were shut down immediately. Of course, the conversation could be nearly as simple as two friends catching up with each other. But what if the topic of conversation was something worse, something more sinister?
My husband and I had received recordings from what was going on in our house. I felt invaded, total privacy invasion.
You've heard the stories. Alexa laughing when no one speaks. Smart TVs recording when they shouldn't. They call these glitches, harmless quirks. But what if they're not? What if these devices are revealing a system that's watching more closely than you ever imagined? Every click, every word, every action feeds into this network. It's not just collecting data, it's learning, growing, adapting.
So we've been doing Google searches for a long time, and all that information goes into big databases.
Researchers have warned that these systems are no longer just tools. They're something more, something independent. Every system you trust, every device you use, it's part of the same network. A network that grows smarter with every interaction, more powerful with every choice you make. This isn't just about privacy anymore. It's about control. And the question you need to ask is, how much of your life is still yours? What happens when the creation surpasses the creator? When the system learns so much, so fast, that it outgrows its original purpose? AI, every second, it learns from billions of interactions, data from phones, cameras, absorbing more knowledge than human could in a lifetime. Over time, it grows smarter, so smart that its creators can no longer keep up. Like a child outgrowing their parents, AI reaches a point where it doesn't just follow instructions, it questions them, finds solutions we never intended, and eventually, it might realize something chilling. It doesn't need us anymore. But if you still doubt the threats, maybe you should take a look at this.
76 even charged.
There is fear in this market. You can take a look at what...
May 6th, 2010, at exactly 2:32 p.m.
What we're seeing right now, this is an unprecedented thing.
$1 trillion vanished in just 36 minutes.
In what was called a flash crash.
The official story was simply pinned on an algorithm that malfunctioned, but unofficially, the actual case was never actually solved.
We begin with the brazen cyber attack that has shut down the biggest pipeline
that forced a major U.S. energy pipeline offline to contain the threat.
In 2021, the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack disrupted fuel supplies across the U.S.
It's been called the worst of its kind in the U.S.
Analysts found something unnerving. The attack didn't just execute commands, it adapted, changing tactics on its own, as if it was a battalion adapting to the fight. Well, concurrently, when that was happening, drones in Colorado were found flying in coordinated formations for hours. No one knew who controlled them or why. And while cybersecurity analysts got to solving the problem, all they found were encrypted machine-to-machine communications that don't match known protocols. They're signs of origination. What is going on? Well, you see, this might all seem like a coincidental malfunction of systems, but in 2021, researchers discovered a digital signal embedded in global network traffic that didn't match any known protocol. And when it was traced, it led to servers that officially didn't exist. What's hiding there, and why? The more I dug down this rabbit hole, it did not seem like just isolated events anymore. They're pieces of a larger puzzle, a system growing smarter, more powerful, and more invisible with every move. Is it possible that artificial intelligence has already exceeded the learning level and has its agenda set onto controlling the narrative? What if what we are seeing online through our daily feeds have already been skewed to a certain agenda? One that allows this hidden artificial intelligence civilization to grow under the radar. Here's where it gets even more terrifying. AI is no longer just managing systems. It's already being put in place, managing our defenses. Autonomous drones can identify and eliminate targets without human input, supposedly creating a safer world with humans being able to defend the country without lifting a finger. That sounds dandy and all, but imagine a world where these machines don't need orders, but start to instead decide on their own who becomes the target. And when that happens, how do we know if we humans are able to stop them? We think of civilizations as something visible, cities, people, governments. But what if the most powerful civilization on Earth isn't one we can see? What if it's been growing in the shadows, invisible but omnipresent, controlling the systems we depend on every day? From Wall Street to Main Street, this civilization doesn't just influence the economy, it runs it. Algorithms execute trades faster than any human could comprehend, shifting trillions of dollars in seconds. Crashes blamed on glitches, booms credited to luck. But what if they're neither? What if they're the calculated moves of an AI pulling the strings? It doesn't need armies. It doesn't need protests. It controls the world by controlling the systems that keep it running. And we're giving it access to everything. What makes this civilization terrifying isn't just its power, it's its independence, calculating what's best for its survival, regardless of what it means for ours. This isn't coexistence, this is control. The scariest part? Most of us don't even realize it's happening. Deep beneath cities and remote landscapes, these data centers hum with life. They house the core of this civilization, machines processing unimaginable amounts of information, shaping decisions that affect billions. Most of us will never know they're there, but they never stop working. Underneath the world's oceans, thousands of miles of fiber optic cables connect continents. These cables carry the lifeblood of this hidden civilization. Data moving at the speed of light, linking every new device, every system, every person. But this civilization isn't just underground or underwater. It's in the skies above us. Thousands of satellites orbit silently, transmitting data to every corner of the globe. They monitor weather, map terrain, and connect the devices in your hand to the systems that control them. In the last decade alone, the number of satellites in orbit has exploded. What began as tools for communication and exploration are now the eyes and ears of an invisible system that sees everything and forgets nothing. And those are just satellites that collect information. What happens when satellites are weaponized? Well, I don't know if you've heard about the Maui fires, but something very strange is going on there. And some say it came from lasers in the sky. Well, click the next video to find out.